Ho ho ho! Merry Leakmas! Hello everyone, welcome back to another video, and in this season of giving, I thought I'd give you the one thing that I can do best. A leak from Reddit. That's right, we're going to be covering the latest leak on Doctor Who from Reddit. Obviously, as always, might not be true, might be true. Some things on Reddit turn out to be accurate, some things demonstrably do not turn out to be accurate. But we love covering them nonetheless. But even though I can't give you what your heart desires for Christmas except, well, leaks, I know one place where you might be able to create your heart's desire, because this video is sponsored by Yahaha. Yahaha is a new user-generated content creation platform for 3D, multiplayer interactive experiences. With Yahaha, anyone can create and publish their virtual experiences without coding experience or server knowledge. And as someone who failed computer science, that's a good thing for me. Simply use the cool features and components and assets in Yahaha Studio, there are around 1 million of them available, to make your dream games. In fact, even I can show you how to very easily make your own hide-and-seek game. First of all, select the hide-and-seek template from the Create section. Simply load in the templates and assets. For the hide-and-seek game, you're going to specifically want the behavior player transform component, as well as the models you'd like to use. Make sure the scene looks good to you. Apply the behavior component we just added to the car, and click the play button on the top right to enter playtest mode. And hey presto, you can be a car! How cool is that? Yahaha even hosts regular live sessions for the community to help creators enhance their metaverse building skills. Follow Yahaha on Twitch or check out previous sessions on YouTube. And to become part of this user-generated content experience, feel free to download Yahaha Studio in my link below. It's absolutely free, or you can scan the QR code on screen right now. Thank you to Yahaha for sponsoring this video, and let's get into the Reddit leak. Also, just feel free to subscribe. If you are new, we're trying to get to 20,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so any support on that front would be greatly appreciated. And of course, if you click the link in the description below to Yahaha, it greatly helps out this channel. Thank you so much for all your support recently, it's been fantastic. But yeah, let's carry on. So this one is from Blosmius Blossom, undoubtedly a reference to the 13th Doctor's final lines in Power of the Doctor. The Doctor Who's 60th anniversary. I have a source who works for Bad Wolf. Don't we all? I don't demand you believe me, but just see how it plays out. The Doctor meets Donna early in the story. He basically leaves the TARDIS and meets her. She remembers him and is safe during it. She takes the Doctor home, and Wilf and Sylvia freak out over her memory, but she says she's fine. Donna slept through all the events like Flux. Now I remember seeing sort of a rumour about this. I don't know where it was from. I think it was because maybe the Flux was mentioned in Doctor Who magazine. People were saying, oh, imagine if Donna slept through it kind of characteristically. And that seems to be what this leak is implying. Rose is in fact Donna and Sean's daughter, and she's with Donna when she meets the Doctor. Rose is explicitly transgender and everyone supports her. Her chosen name was an idea Wilf put forward as a tribute to Rose Tyler after Journey's End. Wilf and Sylvia take a backseat role. Especially Wilf, with Bernard Cribbin's health at filming, he couldn't do much. He's in a few scenes in episode 1, a lot with Unit, and a bit in episode 3, I believe episode 2 too. Sean, Donna's husband, is also in it. His character is a bit shallow because he has nothing to do. He and Sylvia are only in episode 1, same for Rose. Speaking of Unit, they do come back. No Osgood, Kate is back. They're in episodes 1 and 3. Miriam Margolyes does voice Beep the Meep, and the Wraith Warriors are after it. It's a light adaptation of the Star Beast comic and audio, the same way Marvel's Infinity War is an adaptation from Infinity Gauntlet. So not entirely, but the core is the same. On returning characters, Mel Bush is back too in episode 3, more on that later. There's a sweet moment where 14 asks how Yaz is, aware of the support group. The Toymaker is who Neil Patrick Harris plays. He creates chaos to get the Doctor's attention for a final confrontation after the story, titled after him in the 60s, he also thrusts Mel into the conflict to further the Doctor's will to find him. Who else returns? Trinity Wells does appear. What about Doctors and Companions? No one, sorry. But there is another, Shutigawa. I said a little white lie. Other Doctors do return as Guardians of the Edge. The title they have is The Guardian. That's 1, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Other Doctors appear in other places in the mind with other roles. The 13th Doctor and 11th Doctor play big roles in working out what's wrong with the regeneration, due to interest in it due to the issues with Bears, the Master's new life cycle. Their title are the Professor and the Scientist. The 10th Doctor also helps. The Helper is his title. He helps people in the mind world with issues as self-imposed community service after being the Time Lord victorious. They eventually work out what the Toymaker is doing while 14 is facing them. They decide to send 15 down to help, but it all takes all their energies combined. We see shots of 2, 3, 4, War, 9 and 12 helping, but their faces only, since the actors don't return. References are made to Fugitive and the Doctor Master, but no appearances. Edit Murray Gold. So that's where that ends, with the implication of Murray Gold. Okay, so there's a lot to go over there. I think, breaking it down, the first half of this sounds pretty accurate. It sounds pretty safe and pretty, I guess, accurate. I'm not sure what they mean by a confrontation with the Toymaker named after his original appearance in the 60s. Maybe one of the 60th episodes will be called the Celestial Toymaker. That's a possibility, but I'm not really sure what that's in reference to. All the stuff about Rose's name coming from Wilf as a reference to Rose Tyler, again, I feel like that makes sense. Wilf and Sylvia, I never imagined to have huge roles to begin with. The Miriam Margolyes thing we've spoken about before. Trinity Wells has been rumoured on multiple points, so I could see that quite clearly. You know, Trinity Wells, for those of you who don't know, is the news reporter in the Russell T Davies era, who is the American one who's like, in that one bit in Turn Left, America is in crisis. Do-do-do-do. The parts of this I don't quite believe, and obviously, maybe it's just because I've read so many of these, and so many of them are so flippant about this, but the idea of the Guardians of the Edge being like other Doctors, and obviously 13 and 11 getting mentioned, also the fact that Yaz and the support group would be mentioned along with the Doctor Master, I just don't know whether I can see the 60th tying into the Chibnall era that heavily. It could happen. I do like the idea that there are other Guardians of the Edge, and they actually have different, like, names. So, like, the 11th Doctor and 13th Doctor are, like, trying to figure out what's wrong with the regeneration cycle. Their titles are the Professor and the Scientist. And the 10th Doctor, as in not the 14th Doctor, but the original 10th Doctor, taking up a vow to help future incarnations due to the Time Lord victorious, I think is quite a nice idea. I just don't know whether I imagine it tying in this heavily with the centenary. I also want to say as well, so the leak seems to imply that the Guardians that we see in Power of the Doctor are their own separate things. So 1, 5, 6, 7, and 8, they're their own thing. And then, so 11, 13, and the others have, like, different roles. So, I mean, maybe they're technically not Guardians of the Edge, but they occupy a similar mindscape thing. Again, I like the idea, I just don't know whether I can see it tying in that heavily. I do, however, buy that 15 could well be in that mindscape place waiting for his next turn, or something like that. However, I'm kind of less sure about that now, because Russell T Davies has since said that the scene in which we see Ncuti Gatwa by those clouds, the clouds are entirely invented and aren't actually where that scene is set. So maybe he's not actually there, maybe he's somewhere else. But yeah, this is an interesting one to be sure. But let me know in the comments below what you think of this Doctor Who leak. Please like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you later.